Good morning. Welcome to Serenity Stampin' with Leela Monkey. This is a Facebook Live to show you how to make a photo card. And I'm so excited. We took a card that we made in Bingo and we turned it into a photo card. I'm super excited to share that with you today. So let's give a few minutes for everything to get live on the page. It takes a few minutes for the live to show up. So while that's happening, if you're watching a replay, thank you. After today, May 8th, you can go to leelamonkey.com. You can see a link to a blog article that has instructions and photos, step-by-step instructions and photos. You can find that at leelamonkey.com. And this is going to be under the scrapbooking section because we're making a photo card today. So hope you can join me there. And what I'm featuring today, our new catalog launch this week. I'm so very excited about it. I placed not one, not two, but 3 orders since the live launch the other day. Okay, I see that I'm live. That's great. And please please comment because I love your engagement and just super motivating to me, and it helps me know what parts you love, what I should feature and what not. But we're working out of the new annual catalog and the online exclusives today. If you need a catalog, let me know. I'm mailing some more out today. I've got a PDF with the online exclusives, and I will link that below as well. But let's go ahead and get started. I see that the live is live, so let's go ahead and get started. Well, I'll tell you, this started as a fun fold that we made in Bingo. And it's actually a gift card holder, and then you can further open it and put some messaging inside. And so I actually sent this to someone recently. Super fun, super big surprise for her. But anyway, we made this in Bingo, and this is one of the new flowers that's out, one of the new sweets that's out. I'm going to be featuring it more and more and more, but this was watercolor paper and we watercolored it. So you can see a little bit of instruction on my website for that, but I took that card and used it as an inspiration for the card we're going to make today, which is, this is one version. This is one I made for my husband. I'm making a little different version today and going to give it to a friend. No one's better than you. Oh my gosh, this new Darling Ducky yellow is so, so buttery. So anyway, I will show you this at the end, but this is where we're headed. Oh, I'm also not going to make the pop-up here because this was just a pop-up of love for Bob, but I'm going to show you how to make the photo card part. So let's go ahead and get started. I can give you a hint about the pop-up at the end. Don't let me forget. So let me give you the instructions let me give you the measurements for the card today. And I wrote them out right here. So you're going to have your basic white thick at 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to score it at 4 1/4. Then you're going to have your basic white thick at 3.5 by 8 1/4. You're going to score it by 4 1/8. You can take a picture of this. And then 2 little side pieces at 1 1/4 by 4, and you can, layer that up as you desire. So let me show you what that looks like. And then I've got a few pieces as inserts I'll show you in a minute. So this is the 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. These are the little side designer series paper pieces or layered pieces. So these were the 1 1/4 by 4, and I'm just going to have one on each side. And then this is kind of a card on top of a card. So that was the other basic white thick that we needed. So, and I'll have all the designer series paper names and product names when you go to my blog after today, May 8th. So this is the card that's going to go on top of it. So this is the one that was 3.5 by 8 1/4, scored at 4 1/8, and it's just going to fit very nicely on top. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll work with this popcorn. Sweet. I'm in this popcorn bundle, which I love, love, love. If you know me, you know I love popcorn. Love, love, love popcorn. So This was one of the first bundles I had to get, of course. All right, so that's all ready for us to do our decorating. Probably want to center that a little bit better. I think I got a little bit off. So let's go ahead, and now this piece, we're going to gussy it up, and then we're going to layer it on top. So the first thing we're working with is the popcorn bundle. And actually, let's just take a moment and I'll show you a couple products that we're working with. And all month I'll be featuring these over different ways. So this is the Poppin By stamp set and dies. So we'll be working with those today. Super cute. Those are like little smiley faces. And then I'm going to be using some flip flaps in the book. And that's the ability to add little pages like that. So we'll be working on that. I'm featuring Strawberry Slush ink, which I love. It's one of the new ink colors. I love them so much. I got my fingers done in all the new ink colors. So this is Strawberry Slush. And I'm also featuring the Darling Ducky two-tone cardstock. So let's go ahead and get decorating. I stamped the popcorn bundle in Strawberry Slush, and I rolled out through the dies some of the little glasses and the little shoes. Are they adorable? And I also stamped, oh my goodness, I just have to show you this. This is so buttery. So I stamped, you've got to, if you want to get the butter effect, you've got to stamp this in Strawberry Slush and then stamp it again in the Darling Ducky. And oh my gosh, it is like butter. It just, I stamp it and it melts in my mouth. I just want to eat it. So in order to get this effect, you've got to stamp both. So I've already stamped that. I've rolled that out through the die cut, and then I need to further trim it so that I can eliminate the Strawberry Slush color. And then I'll show you how I just very quickly glued the buttery color behind. So I stamped this out in the Darling Ducky, and then just fussy cut it, put a little bit of glue. Go ahead and layer that on top, and then you've got your sweet little guy. So now let's go ahead and get the shoes and the glasses on. And for this, I rolled these through in our other new in color, which is Secret Sea. And I'm using our tweezers to go ahead. These shoes are so tiny, so I'm using our tweezers to adhere the tiny little shoes. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to put the little glasses on. I just put a tiny little bit of green glue, like right kind of where the nose piece is. I'll put that on. And then look at this cute little guy. He's so darling. Oopsie. Stuck to my finger. Look at this cute little guy. So darling. So that's how we kind of get that guy all decorated. If you want, you could take some Week of Stella and kind of get some, like, doesn't butter just kind of glisten to you? Just glistens. So you could take some Week of Stella. We can get these guys. These were also stamped, of course, in the Darling Ducky, and then I rolled them through. Just used a little bit of washi tape, rolled them through, got them. Oh, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. And I had no one's better than you, but that's because I gave this to Bob. So I think I'm going to use a different one for my friends. I think I'm going to use Poppin In to say hello, because I'm just going to send this in the mail to them, and I think it'll just be a fun little surprise for them to receive. So I'm going to put Poppin In to say hello, and now with our red rubber cling stamps, sometimes I go in and trim that a little bit further, but I'm just gonna like ink it up very gently. I'm not gonna smush into the pad. I'm just gonna touch the pad. I'm actually gonna do a practice. Oh my gosh, it stamps perfectly. So just so long as I don't smush it, I think it'll be great. So I know that I'm faced the right direction because I did my little practice, and there we go. Then I can go ahead, raise this up on dimensionals. I've got a few other popcorn samples at the end that I'll show you. And in the blog post, I'll put a link to some other photo cards I've been working on because I'm really, really enjoying photo cards. So I'm going to put 2 little pieces of popcorn on the front as well. Wouldn't this be a fun card to get from some friends? You go to a movie. We went to go see Pink Floyd at Pompeii, and I was a bit obsessed. I mean, I love popcorn. So we went to go see Pink Floyd at Pompeii movie in Folsom. And then I'm like, you guys, we have to get photos. We have to get photos with popcorn. All right, you guys, that's the front. I'm going to go ahead and dimensional that as well. Well, so these are our good friends, and we love to travel with them. We all love photography. So when I said, you guys, we have got to take photos that have popcorn, they were on it. So I'll show you some of those. They were super fun. But then wouldn't this be a fun card for them to get after we had such a fun day? We went to this, we found it. So, oh yeah. So we're going to the theater, and we walked past this gourmet popcorn place. So we're like, oh my gosh, we have to stop here. So I'll show you all the photos. So you guys, that's the fun. It's the Poppin In to say hello. And that'll be reminiscent of the theme. I'll show you some of the photos. This was the 4 of us in the theater watching the Pink Floyd. Super fun. This was the popcorn place. It's called Nibbler's Popcorn Co. And so I got some fun photos. All you need is love and popcorn. And then I got a picture of just the 2 of them. And I got a picture of the Pink Floyd. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little photo card for them. All right. So that's the front. Like I said, you could open it and do a gift card holder. You could decorate the inside. But let's go ahead. We're going to use these fun flip-flops. This is the 3x3 size. And what is a flip-flop, you say? Well, it's exactly what you would think it would be. It flip-flaps. So you glue this in, like you use the adhesive to adhere it. And then I'm going to put a little bit of cardstock backing, and then I'm going to put my photos in there. So, and just a little tip for you on this guy. I put the flip-flap a little too high when I made my card, and it wasn't closing nicely at all. So I'll show you. I just added a little score line right there, and then I added just a tiny little 1/8 inch strip. But so that's how I did that guy. But let's go ahead, and I've already cut this to fit inside the flip-flap. So the flip-flaps are 3x3, so I kind of cut these to 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And I'm just going to give them a couple. So I'm going to put that one in there, and then I think I'm going to do, oh, I know, I can do this. Oh, this will do. All you need is love and popcorn. And then on the flip side, I'll have the Nibblers. And then I'll have those guys. And then on the back, I'll have the Pink Floyd. So let's go ahead and get that glued up. I will go ahead and do this. I think this will end up being actually a little more nicely decorated than the first one I made. The first one I made had, I didn't put the cardstock backing. So when you do the flip, all you see is the back of the photo. I probably didn't trim this short enough. I wasn't going to use it, but then I just decided to use it. Yay! Perfect! Yay, yay, yay. Okay. So, let's see. So that is exactly as I wanted it. You would think it's upside down, but it's not, because when you open the flip, it's going to be like that. So perfect. Okay. Then add one more on top of it. And go ahead and put that there. And then on this guy, I'll just say all you need is love and popcorn. Put that right there. Put this on the back. Hold on, my PC just went dark. I don't know why, but I'm waiting to see if there's any comments. Okay. So there we go. We've got this guy. All you need is love and popcorn. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Yeah, you got to remember to put it upside down. So all you need is love and popcorn. Nibbler's Popcorn Company. There's Ed and Jennifer. There's Pink Floyd. And then I just put like a little, I've got a little label that says April 2025. Pink Floyd. And you know what? I think I'll just put this here. I have a photo of the four of us, so why don't I do that? Oh my gosh, you guys, who wouldn't love to just get this from a friend, right? Just commemorating a fun day. They love photography, so, and I'll show you some of the other photos because we really staged it. So, all right, this is the card for them. Popping in to say hello. All you need is love and popcorn. Nibblers. There's Ed and Jennifer. There's Pink Floyd, and there's the four of us. Very sweet. And then I'll just put some kind of little message inside. Now, the one I made for Bob and I, no one's better than you. Super fun, same little guy. And then all you need is love and popcorn. See what I mean? Not as decorated. And then, actually, it was Ed that was kind of staging me. I mean, I truly do love popcorn. So we had just had some fun with it. So I went, he's like, you should go in the back and get your photo with all the popcorn. So this is the Nibbler, and that's me and Bob. And then a little pop-up. I'll tell you how I did that super quick. But that was such a fun day. So how I made the pop-up, very briefly, and I'll just do it with a little scrap right here. So I took, I think, like a 5-inch strip by 1, and then I scored it at 1. And then another 1, and then another 1, and then another 1. And so then what you want is you glue those two pieces together. You could do it in basic white. you glue those two pieces together. I might even trim just a little bit of this off so that it doesn't really have any overhang. But you glue those two together so that you've got a nice square. Well, now that I'm doing it, I probably should just put something in there for him, shouldn't I? Let's just do it. I know, the video's getting a little longer than I wanted, but it's a little bonus tip here. You can go, like I said, to leelamikey.com and get the instructions, including the pop-up, after today, May 8th. So I'm going to glue. I want the seam on the inside. So I'm just gluing the front and the back. So I'll put that right there. And then I'll fold this over and close it. So that I've got like a little base like that. And then I will, well, I'm going to burnish it really well because I want it to adhere both places. Then I will stamp and die cut 2 little pieces of popcorn, and I'll stamp and die cut a little heart like I had, and I'll just get that sweet little inside like that. So, all right, that I wanted to keep it to 15, so sorry it's a little longer. Go to leelamikey.com. After the 8th, you'll see instructions for all of this, ingredients, and great to see you today. Thank you. Bye-bye.